in Lincoln for English Premier League Soccer at 18B.
The electrical workers of local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
New year, new you? Barrel's Extreme Body Shaping can help make sure you keep that resolution this time. Our proven system combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition, along with our expert coaching to make sure you're moving forward toward your goals. The next 10-week challenge starts January 11th, but if you enroll now, you can start today and get a head start on those gains for no extra cost. Plus, head to fxblincoln.com and you can save $100. Don't wait. Barrel's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
At Koppel, during the holidays, we take time to cherish our terrific staff, community, and loyal customers that continue to drive that money-saving mile to Louisville, Nebraska. Hi, this is Sean Callahan. I can proudly say I bought my car at Koppel. If you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
It's that magical time of year, but amidst the festivities, you should celebrate your health too. With all the delicious treats and holiday cheer, it's easy to let healthy habits slip. But just a few simple choices can help you enjoy the season without the stress of extra pounds. Make time for physical activity, eat in moderation, and focus on your well-being. Search Chronic Disease Nebraska to learn more. Paid for by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
Everybody likes choices when it comes to gifts, and a Max Tan gift card offers spray tanning, UV tanning, and red light therapy at all Lincoln locations. Give the gift that everyone wants this holiday season by visiting any Max Tan location in Lincoln or at maxtan.net.
Welcome into the locker room, the most sacred of spaces in sports. Talking you through the behind-the-scenes conversations that happen behind closed doors. With former Nebraska football tight end Chancellor Brewington.
Chancellor Brewington, the 6-year senior tight end, finding his way into the end zone.
And former South Dakota State running back and Nebraska football assistant Mikey Daniel.
Hand off to Daniel inside the 2 to the 1, and he powers his way into the end zone for a South Dakota State touchdown.
This is The Locker Room, brought to you by Pep Foundation Repair. Here are your hosts, Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Daniel.
Welcome into the locker room here on 93.7. The Ticket, Chancellor Brewington out on holiday as well. So it'll be myself, Jake Bakoven, and Enrique Alvarez-Clary, hopefully entertaining and enlightening you through the next hour. We've got plenty to talk about. Of course, the college football playoff opening rounds. Were you entertained? Was anybody entertained? We got the Nebraska transfer portal additions over the weekend. So they're adding into that transfer portal hall. And we got First Take against Kirk Herbstreit, which how can you disagree with
what
that?
is happening with ESPN? The four-letter network is in shambles.
Yes, there's infighting at ESPN. But I did want to start off by saying, or by asking you, Enrique, how did you enjoy the first round of the college football playoffs? It was often mocked over the weekend, not close games. For those that don't know, Notre Dame did beat Indiana 27-17 in a game that wasn't as close as that sounds.
No.
Texas beat Clemson 38-24. Penn
wasn't
State,
as close as that sounds.
Same deal. Penn State beat SMU 38-10, and Ohio State beat Tennessee 42-17. And especially in the early rounds where Lane Kiffin, who would argue that his team Ole Miss maybe should have made it mocked the college football playoff committee. Does it make you rethink how we should do the college football playoffs after one round, as many were trying to speculate and try to get their SEC teams in?
No.
It's
not. It wasn't expected. Obviously, like you were hoping for better games. But I mean, blowouts happen sometimes, and just because it happened in the first round of playoffs does not necessarily mean that some other team would have hopped in there and done a better job. I mean, look, if you're Ole Miss, just don't lose. Just don't lose the games that you lost. It's as simple as that, really. You don't have to sit here and complain about, oh, well, we lost 2 games and they lost 2 games and they lost 1 game, but our schedule was hard. It doesn't matter if your schedule was hard. Like, just don't lose the games. If you want to say that you're a better team, then be the better team and win those games, especially with Alabama and all of the love that they're getting. I mean, you lost 3 games. You lost to a 6-6 Vanderbilt and a 6-6 Oklahoma. You only scored 3 points against a crappy Oklahoma team, and you want to sit there and whine and complain about how you should have been in the bowl game and you would have put up a better fight than SM. No, you wouldn't have. You would score 3 points on Oklahoma. You wouldn't have put up a better fight. Don't even try. So you want to whine and complain, sure, whatever. But next season, when it comes down to it, just don't lose the games that will keep you out of the playoffs. Just don't lose. It's simple as that. Win your games.
Yeah, and putting up a better game is just such a hard argument to go by, because then what is the point of the regular season? If Alabama's just built as one of the better teams in the country. If we're just going on based on quality of game, then yeah, they should get in. And so should Michigan. Michigan was 7-5.
Yeah.
And they just beat Ohio State. So if you're going on quality of game, just look at who late in the season is putting up a good fight against the playoff teams and put them in. I mean, so it's tough. I always think you always have to go based on the resume there. And it's not, none of this is built equally. It never will be. There's too many teams. So you can't get the same level of strength of schedule. Maybe we did see that Indiana maybe isn't as good as their 11-1 record shows. But that's what they had in front of them.
Have you seen the records of the teams that Indiana beat? I didn't realize it was as bad as it is.
It's bad.
I don't think they beat anybody with an over 500 record.
Well, they beat Michigan, right? In Nebraska. Nebraska's not over 500.
Yeah, they did beat Michigan, so 7-5. So
that
they
would
beat
be the only one.
One team with an over 500 record. It's not the great. Like it looked good at the beginning. It was like, oh wow, they're smoking these teams. Like this is really good. And then you go back and you look at the end of the season, the records for those teams that Indiana beat. Not great, dude. It's not. But I mean, they looked fun. They looked really good during the season. They were smoking teams that they were supposed to smoke. They were beating all these teams. Not a great look for Kurt Cignetti to go on game day and talk about we don't just beat top 25 teams. We smoke them or whatever.
Yeah.
When the only top 25 team that you faced and beat was Nebraska, who was 25th at the time and finished 6-6. Like, that's not the greatest look for Kurt. And people are I think people are turning sour against Cignetti now for all of his talk.
Well, in the trash talk, it's fun and it's a good story. But then when, at some point it was going to, Indiana wasn't going to win this whole thing. So it's going to, go up against them. I've seen a lot of people, there's people that don't like, his trash talk. And Nick Saban said he didn't learn that from me.
Yeah.
But altogether, Kurt Cignetti still should be the coach of the year. And it's amazing what he did at Indiana, the all-time losingest program in college football, to have their best team of all time. It comes up short, but they went to the playoffs. So everybody can poke their fun at him now.
Mm-hmm.
But, most teams didn't make the playoffs. Most teams didn't win 11 games. So it's kind of tough. Do you think that Kurt Cignetti in Indiana is here to stay, or do you think that was kind of a flash in the pan TCU from a couple years ago?
Do I think it was Michigan State for a few years ago as well?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I thought that those teams would. I thought Michigan State would last. I wasn't really sure about TCU. I'm pretty sure I probably thought they were going to last too. I'm not even going to sit here and say I knew they were going to fall off. I probably believed that they were going to continue their winning ways as well. It could be the same with Indiana. I mean, they built this program with a lot of guys from JMU and through the transfer portal. Let's see if they can do it again. But we've seen multiple times where teams built heavily through the transfer portal have really good year ones, or they'll have one good year. And then it's really hard to replicate that if you keep going through the portal, because some of these guys are leaving for a reason. Some of these guys are leaving because they weren't good enough at their other spots. Some guys are leaving for a better opportunity, and they are truly good. But a lot of the times, these guys are leaving because they couldn't crack the starting lineup at wherever they were at. So if they crack your starting lineup, does that mean that you don't have as much talent as the place that they left? It's hard things like that will hold some of these transfer portal heavy teams back.
And, the other thing another note that kind of comes out of this, again, you look at your winners, Notre Dame, Texas, Penn State, Ohio State, all moving on.
Home teams.
Well, home teams is one deal, and that's going to be huge. And I thought it was all right. I mean, the college football playoff, the excitement as far as like the atmosphere and all that, I think pregame Notre Dame, Indiana was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously pregame Ohio State, Tennessee was cool. And that was interesting for a different reason.
Tennessee
There's
fans.
a lot of Tennessee fans
there. A lot
there.
of orange.
So that was just kind of interesting. But I just think you're going to see this year in and year out when you have teams that are slated, like Ohio State, Penn State, Texas, and Notre Dame. They're not top 4 ranked teams, but they're the top 6 teams.
Yeah.
They're part of the top 6, right? Arizona State and Boise State get in by a technicality.
Careful.
Well, because they won their conferences.
Yeah, they took care of business.
They did, but it's hard to, you look at their lines now.
Boise State should not have been a top 4 seed.
Right.
They shouldn't have been, although that, like you said, they won their conference, and it's the, highest ranked conference winners get those top 4 seeds.
Yeah.
And Clemson, if Clemson doesn't beat SMU gets that 4th seed. I believe. I think they're ranked higher than Boise State was, and they probably would have jumped maybe a couple of spots. So then we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But SMU couldn't take care of business in the ACC championship, and they couldn't take care of business in the first round of the playoffs. So again, it just comes down to win. All you have to do is win, and you won't have to worry about having to go on the road from 70 degrees in Dallas, Texas, to 20 degrees in Happy Valley, Pennsylvania. Like, it's just one of these things where if you take care of business, you won't. You'll get your home game at your home site. Maybe you'll get a first round bye, and then you won't even have to worry about playing at your home site. You'll play at a warm place for a bowl game for that second round of the playoffs. But if you lose, this is what happens. And now Boise State is in a very tough spot, because to make the group of 5 or the quote unquote teams that shouldn't be in look better, Boise State has to win.
Yeah.
Like, it's really all of this weight with SMU and Indiana falling as bad as they did. All of the weight falls on Boise State's shoulders, whether it's fair or not, to win this game and to show, look, even if we don't have the toughest strength of schedule, even though we're not in a Power 4 conference, we're still just as good as these teams. We're still just as talented. Falls on one team, and it's not really fair, but that's just kind of how this works. Again, with teams losing games maybe they shouldn't have lost, or falling as badly as they did.
On Boise State, a 10.5-point underdog now to Penn State for the Fiesta Bowl when they go into that. Arizona State, the other underdog team, 14-point underdog to Texas going into the Peach Bowl there. But I guess my point is, it's the same that college football has been, is that generally you're going to have separation between the top 1 or 2 teams and then the 3 and 4 teams, and then the 4 those 4 teams are going to have separation to 8 and then 8 to 12. So this whole nonsense of having a 14 like maybe it can be entertaining, and I don't know if people were entertained or not. I mean, there's at least more football, there's more money on the table to be had by everybody, and of course that's going to win. But ultimately it doesn't feel like we're going to have a Cinderella run anytime soon, especially when, again, with the setup currently being that, it could be like this year, 1 or 2 teams that are not top 4 teams are going to get that slot. So you move 2 of the top 4 teams back into the first round of the playoffs, and then give them home field advantage to take on the 12, 13th best team in the country.
Yeah.
There's hardly a year where there's much parity there. Now, it can happen. We saw a couple years ago, like a Tulane beat a USC in the Rose Bowl or the Sugar Bowl, whatever that was.
UCF takes down Auburn.
You can get some upsets there. So, there will be a time where Cinderella will have its story, but I just think it's going to be few and far between in these playoffs.
Well, I think with the roster cap and the revenue sharing and all of that, I think you're going to have more of these smaller teams, these group of 5 teams, having more talent, because you're going to have guys who are talented enough to go to these Power 5 schools, but Power 4, whatever it is, I don't know what it is anymore, Power 4 schools.
Yeah.
But the rosters are going to be full, and you're not going to be able to take any more of these guys on. You're going to have guys who probably would hit the end of the roster and maybe work their way into extremely talented players. They're going to have to go to these group of 5 schools and work their way up. And as long as they don't, have a good 2 years and then transfer out right away, you'll be able to see some of these group of 5 teams take advantage of the talent that is going to be left over from the recruiting classes of the Power 4 schools, and take advantage of that, get into these potential playoff spots. And I don't think you'll really ever see a Cinderella run like you do in March Madness, but you'll have a surprise upset in probably round 1 here and there. But it's it's the haves and the have-nots. It's the teams like the Texases, the Ohio States, and even though they lost the Tennessees, that have all of this talent, the Notre Dames, who are going to not have, especially Notre Dame, like they're never going to get a top 4 seed.
Right.
So you're going to have a team like SMU or Boise State, if they weren't, didn't get in there, who are going to have to travel to Notre Dame because they'll be a higher seed, travel to Notre Dame, travel to South Bend, and play an extremely talented Fighting Irish squad. And more than likely, you're going to have Notre Dame in the first round playing every year in this playoff, and they're going to make it to the second round. Like, they're going to face teams that they're just that much better than.
Yeah, I think we could see
it'll
that
make Nick happy,
trend.
him and his Marcus Freeman love.
That's right. And Notre Dame looked good. I think it's setting up, your next round of the playoffs is where it really begins. Again, we can complain all we want, and I will, because we've had this argument for years.
I'm good with it.
I like a smaller playoff, as small as it could get. I'm a BCS guy.
Bach just wants one team.
Well, I think Oregon has to play Ohio State here in the Elite 8 for the second time. And they're clearly, like, if you go through any other way that we've crowned a champion in the past, they should have 2 games to play to win. Yeah. Maybe they really should have 1, and they might lose to Ohio State. And then if they do, I don't know if that proves that they're not the best team in the country, because they'll still only have 1 loss and everybody else has 2.
Yeah, but Ohio State's better because they beat them the second time.
Yeah,
Your one loss is to a team that you already beat.
Yes,
that's tough. It's a tough look.
It's tough.
But if you're better than them, just beat them a second time. It's simple. Just be better. That's
it,
Bach.
That's how it comes down.
That's my motivational speech for every team. Just be better.
And again, it goes to my argument that the playoffs are not always the best way to determine a champion. If you have a 7-game series, sure, you're usually going to get the best team out of there. But sometimes you'll have a different team. We all know your New England Patriots in 2007. Probably the best team. Probably a better team than the Giants.
They ran into a hot team.
But the Giants won the playoffs. Ridiculous. So apparently they're the champs.
They were the best team in football that year. Fact.
I don't believe
they won the Super Bowl.
I'll never believe it.
Stupid games.
But that's the way we have it, and it's entertaining. But now, I think now that you're down to these, this Elite 8, supposedly, or semifinals, however you want to describe it, now the fun can start to happen. Oregon and Ohio State, I mean, that's
part 2.
That's incredible. Georgia and Notre Dame with some of these injuries. Notre Dame, by the way, lost defensive tackle Riley Mills for the season. So even though they took a win, they did take a hit there. Georgia, obviously, without their quarterback, that's going to be wildly entertaining. So I think the playoffs will get better.
A backup they shouldn't be in, right? That's what happened to Florida State. You got to take them out and put somebody in.
Well, that's the other thing, yeah. Florida State fans, deservedly so, should always be
you only got
upset
2
about
wins
that.
this year. You can't talk too much.
Well, that's because of what the NCAA did to them. I'll never say that wasn't a little bit of a cause and effect there.
Tough.
Yeah.
It's okay, though.
Tough stuff.
They've got Tony White and a whole bunch of transfers now.
That's right.
They're on the come up.
They've got my man James Williams up there.
Gus Malzahn. Calling plays on the offensive side.
That's right.
Florida State's going to be fun next year, probably.
Hopefully. The sport is better when Florida State is better.
Is it?
I think so.
What are the teams
brands.
that, you know what? We'll talk about this in the next one.
Yeah.
The teams the brands that make college football better.
That's right. Unfortunately, Nebraska's been one of those for a long time. We'll talk about that and more coming next year on The Locker Room on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
New year, new you? Barrel's Extreme Body Shaping can help make sure you keep that resolution this time. Our proven system combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition, along with our expert coaching to make sure you're moving forward toward your goals. The next 10-week challenge starts January 11th, but if you enroll now, you can start today and get a head start on those gains for no extra cost. Plus, head to fxblincoln.com and you can save $100. Don't wait. Barrel's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
It's that magical time of year, but amidst the festivities, you should celebrate your health too. With all the delicious treats and holiday cheer, it's easy to let healthy habits slip. But just a few simple choices can help you enjoy the season without the stress of extra pounds. Make time for physical activity, eat in moderation, and focus on your well-being. Search Chronic Disease Nebraska to learn more. Paid for by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Husker Nation, Nebraska is heading to the Pinstripe Bowl, and J-Tech Construction and Solar is here to help you score big on your home this season. Buy any 2 trades, windows, siding, roofing, solar, gutters, or doors, and save up to 20% off. Don't wait until the final whistle. Act now. J-Tech delivers expert craftsmanship and unbeatable savings for your home. Whether it's a new roof, energy-efficient windows, or solar panels that power your home like a champion, they've got you covered. Call 402-261-3682 to schedule your free estimate today. J-Tech Construction and Solar, proud sponsors of Husker football.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
League One Volleyball is coming to Omaha this January. Featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes, Love Omaha Volleyball is Omaha's newest pro team. The inaugural season will showcase some of the world's best volleyball players, from medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 24th at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Visit lovb.com for more information and to purchase tickets. Volleyball is the next major league.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
At Koppel, during the holidays, we take time to cherish our terrific staff, community, and loyal customers that continue to drive that money-saving mile to Louisville, Nebraska. Hi, this is Sean Callahan. I can proudly say I bought my car at Koppel. If you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. You're listening to The Locker Room with Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Daniel. Brought to you by App Foundation Repair on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back on The Locker Room here on 93.7 The Ticket. Once again, Chancellor Brewington on holiday break. So myself, Jake Balkovin, and Enrique Alvarez-Clary in here. And I actually called you Enrique at some point earlier.
Did.
It felt weird. I'm just going to go back to Rico.
I was just like, I'm just going to let it go. It is my name, so
yeah,
it's fine. I don't mind. You want to call me by my full name? You can. You can call me Enrique. You can call me Rico, but that's it. Nothing else.
Does your wife call you Enrique?
Yes, she does. She thinks it's weird when people call me Rico.
Really?
Yeah. So does my mom, obviously, because my mom didn't name me Rico. So.
But just about everybody else calls you Rico, or is that something? Yeah.
No, pretty much. Ever since high school.
Yeah.
High school, college, and now, in the professional setting.
Yeah.
Everybody's just like, oh, yeah, Rico.
Well, Rico, I've got a challenge for you. There's plenty of interesting things going on this weekend.
Oh, no.
But the most interesting thing, at least according to my Twitter, is Travis Hunter's girlfriend. Give me 2 minutes on Travis Hunter's girlfriend. Right? Your hottest takes.
I can't, because every time I see it, I just scroll past it. I think it's ridiculous that I think it's fiance also.
Oh,
actually.
yeah. I don't care.
I think it's ridiculous that people are like tearing down this young woman and this young man with whatever the heck is happening.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's done in her past life or what she's doing or their relationship status or anything like that. I know that he won the Heisman, and as soon as he won the Heisman, everybody started attacking his fiance.
That's right.
I don't know. I don't really care, and I hope that whatever's happening, they can get through it and people leave them alone. Like I don't know what's happening.
Oh, there you go. That's not quite 2 minutes, but you did better than I thought you would.
Leave Travis and his fiance alone.
Oh man, relationships.
Yeah,
they could
public
be
relationships.
Yeah, public relationships. They could be
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let that man win his Heisman, go play in a bowl game, potentially win that, and get drafted in the top 5 in peace.
Yes.
Leave him alone. Let the man live.
Yeah, there's probably a reality series down the line with the both of them.
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah, probably.
They'll probably spin this to their advantage, hopefully at some point. But yeah, I don't care. I don't care who breaks up and who doesn't.
Look, as long as you're happy. Look,
yes.
Just be happy, and that's it, really. Be happy. Don't get in trouble. Play good football. There you go, Travis.
There's relationship advice for Rico there.
Do your best.
We were just talking about the biggest brands in college football, and it got me to thinking: is there a sport you think that relies on brands more than college football? Is there like a sport that hurts more when their brands aren't in it? Immediately, I kind of think of maybe baseball. When they have kind of, with all apologies to all the Royals fans out there, the smaller markets winning, it doesn't quite feel as big. But then I came back around to college basketball. I think college basketball is hurt the most when the brands aren't at the top?
So I think it's college football. Baseball's a close second. College basketball, I don't see as much because regular season, it's always the brands that are at the top. But during tournament time for NCAA basketball, nobody wants the brands to win. Like, obviously, you want your bracket to stay perfect, and that's like a thing that everybody wants that. It's never going to happen. But when the upsets happen, everybody jumps on the bandwagon of whatever team. Nobody knows anything about them, but everybody jumps on, and they're like, I'm learning everything I need to know about UMBC. They upset Virginia. We're learning everything we need to know about UMBC. The school's attendance skyrockets. Like, everything goes great for those schools. So I don't think, regular season, yeah, sure, the brands are important. You want the Dukes, the North Carolinas, the Michigan States to win all those games and to be at the forefront going into the tournament. You want those to be your 1 seeds. But once the tournament starts, as soon as that first upset happens, it's all hands on deck, and everybody has your favorites don't matter anymore.
See, I think people think that's what they want until the Final Four is 4 teams that you couldn't care less about. Like, there's no historical significance on what you're watching by the end.
Probably. It's the first couple rounds.
Yeah, that's
but then once
fun.
you get to the Final Four, it's like, okay, now I want
my brand names
I
back.
want Duke and Kentucky and Arizona.
Yeah.
I don't want. Although, look, when Florida they make the Final Four, they just make the Elite Eight. No, it's VCU. When they made the Final Four, that was still fun.
Yeah.
This is still pretty fun. But if it's all 4, then you've got yourself a problem. Or if it's like 3 or 2 of the 4, and they're like on opposite, or they're playing against each other, then that game's not really going to get as many views as the blue blood brand name programs. But no, you're right. Baseball is a really huge one in that, because you'll have you like the Yankees and the Dodgers in the World Series. Although everybody complains, it's one of those things. Everybody complains about it because, oh, well, of course it's them because they have all the money and they're doing this and they're doing that. But guess what? You're watching.
Yeah.
You're still watching it. Now, if it was like you said, apologies to the Royals fans, but if it was like the Royals or the Rays against like the Athletics or something, it's just like, nah, I'm not going to watch this.
Yeah. I mean, so it's interesting. And I also think it's interesting because I've learned this over the years, mostly through Texas football, as we run back to the college football discussion, is that for the longest time, I thought I had such heavy hatred for Texas football in my heart that I just wanted to see them burn and suck. And then they did for like a long period of time. And then I realized this isn't fun to cheer against a 5-7 team every year. Like
I need you to be good so that I can wish you to be bad.
Yeah. Then your losses matter more. Then it hurts more when you lose.
But when you're 5-7, it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, or
whatever.
Even middling 7-8 wins. They
like,
just
ooh,
end of the Mac Brown era. It was just kind of like, well,
you lost to Kansas again.
Yeah. So I don't know. In college football, obviously Nebraska is one of those brands. People say it across the country. College football is better if Nebraska is better, but it's almost been so long that people are going to start to forget that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think college football definitely feels that way, and that's what makes this run kind of interesting. Oregon's somewhat of a brand, but they've never won a national title.
Oregon's like the new age brand that has never finished the job.
Yeah. But, so I think they're fine at the top, but it's good to have years of Notre Dame and Ohio State and Texas and Penn State. We talk about this college football playoff, and maybe the first round wasn't great, but it's setting up for big brands that matter moving into the finalists of the playoffs.
And it's a lot better, like, even if you have like the not so big brand, like Clemson, right? They weren't a big brand for a while, but then when they did emerge and they staked themselves on being a big brand, they won 2 national titles and they stayed at least close to the top year after year after year. So like those teams that aren't big brands, but then establish themselves as big brands, that's also fun. And then you have a new team to root against and you're just like, all right, I want you to be bad. And then if they do get bad, it's like, okay, well, it didn't really matter in the first place because it's been so long. You were finally good after being bad for so long. But teams like that kind of establishing themselves and staying at the top is also something fun where you can get, like Oregon, new age, big brands, where you can root for them, root against them, and just, all the jokes keep flying. But then you have, if Nebraska can get back to it, your Nebraska, your Alabama, Georgia to some extent. If Florida can get back on their feet, a Florida State, Tennessee's kind of like that, like, I believe they're a blue blood, but also they're kind of just like middle of the pack blue blood also. Just like those teams like that, when they're good, it's more, like you said, it's more fun to root against them because when Alabama loses to Vanderbilt, you're like, there you go. You're never going to the playoff. And then they win a couple more games, then they lose to Oklahoma and whoever else they're losing to. And that makes it fun because they're still that's still a good team. They're 9-3.
Yeah.
Like that's still a good record, but you missed out on the playoffs. Ha, you suck. And then next year they'll, win their first like 7 games again. And you're like, oh man, I really hope they lose.
Yeah, it's definitely fun in my mind when the big brands are there. I think in a couple big, sports that you kind of think of where it would be almost insufferable. I think about how insufferable Cowboys fans are now, but if the Cowboys were actually good for like a decade plus, man, that'd be an experience for all of us.
I can't
imagine
imagine
the same for your Knicks.
Yeah. Oh, dude, if the Knicks were good, it would be disgusting for everyone involved. Everyone would hate me. The city of New York would probably implode. It would be crazy. But no, Dallas Cowboys fans are like that to a T, where they'll win like 3 games in a row and they're insufferable. And then they lose a game and everybody needs to be fired. And that's just kind of how it is. And everybody roots against the Cowboys. But the thing is, even when they're bad, they're still like the talk of the town.
Yeah.
So that's one of those brands that keeps on going regardless of the record.
Well, yeah.
And they always have all the talent. How are they so bad?
Well, they're at least they're kind of on that Mike Tomlin line usually, where they're at least above 500 or close to it. That there's at least an argument they could make the wild card.
Like, how are they always so bad? They always have, you look at their team and you're just like, that's a name. Like, you're like, yo, not necessarily, but you're like future Hall of Famers all up and down the roster, and you have 4 wins.
But we all enjoy the Cowboys losing, so
Hell
it's
yeah.
okay.
Take that, Pete.
Yeah.
I know you're listening. I don't know if you're listening, but if you aren't, somebody will send this to you. Send this to Pete.
Yeah.
Let him know we're thinking about him and how bad the Cowboys are.
I know he just went to the Cowboys game, actually.
He did.
I think, yeah. So
did they win? No, they lost.
Yeah. They were eliminated from the playoffs before they even played. So
Oh, poor Pete.
there was that.
So sad.
Yeah. My Cardinals got eliminated from the playoffs by losing to Carolina.
My team has. Oh wow.
So that's
tough.
That's the Cardinals fandom. That's pretty much usually what happens.
That's wow. My team's been eliminated from the playoffs, and they put up a good. This is the thing. Patriots put up a good fight against the Bills. Still lost. Right now, I believe they're 2nd overall pick.
Yeah.
Because the Giants only have 2 wins, and the Patriots have 3.
Well, that's where you get into the territory of I don't really want my team to win, so we get a better draft.
Exactly. Please keep losing
and screw it up and pick the wrong guy anyway, and then
exactly
doesn't really matter.
They're gonna take a tackle. Like if Travis Hunter's available, I wish they would take him. I don't know what position they're gonna put him at. But they're gonna take a tackle. I already know it's gonna be the dude from Texas.
Travis Hunter's career is gonna be so interesting because I think he's going to play a little bit, on both sides of the ball, not a whole lot on whichever, he's going to have a dominant position. But if he's not like all league after like 2 years, they might like switch positions for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm fascinated to see how that career turns out.
I don't know what he's better at.
Yeah. I don't know either.
Can you imagine if he just stuck with one? Like, remember Tommy Hill when he first got to Nebraska? Here you go. Here's a barrel. Talk about Nebraska for you. When Tommy Hill first got to Nebraska, they're like, oh, yeah, he's going to play both. He's going to be a wide receiver and a corner. And he was a corner for a little bit. Then they switched him to just wide receiver, and that didn't really work. And then he switched back to corner, and it was like, oh, this guy is early in the season. This guy's a first-round pick in the NFL. Yeah. And then he got hurt, and then things started going sideways. And he's still like an extremely talented. He's got the body type to be a really good corner in the NFL, and he's just sticking with that position now. Can we imagine if Travis Hunter just picked one? Like how good he could be when he's not splitting his time and he's not getting tired on the offensive end because of what he did on defense, and get tired on the defensive end because of what he did on offense. He's not, running a seam route and just catching the ball, running, 75 yards for a touchdown, then having to go out there and cover the other team's best wide receiver. Like if he just picked one, be so good.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if he'd win the Heisman that way, though.
I don't think he would.
Yeah,
but he did. So
there
you go. Most snaps.
I think he wouldn't about it the right way. Yeah, snaps.
Most snaps. There you go.
The biggest
good
stat in college football now.
Good on you.
All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break. We got one more segment here on the Locker Room with myself, Jake Bakoven, and Enrique Alvarez-Clary, better known as Rico, on 93.7 The Ticket.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
Looking to upgrade your equipment? Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer in Nebraska and northern Kansas, has an offer you don't want to miss. Through December, purchase a model year 2022, 23, or 24 tractor, combine, or sprayer, and take advantage of financing as low as 3.9 for 60 months. That's right. Get the equipment you need with affordable payments designed to keep your operation running strong. Stop by your local Landmark Implement today or visit landmarkimp.com to learn more. Experience the Landmark difference.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday Season. They are thankful for many things this year and every year, and hope that everyone is able to enjoy time with family and friends during this joyful celebration. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialist here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Everybody likes choices when it comes to gifts, and a Max Tan gift card offers spray tanning, UV tanning, and red light therapy at all Lincoln locations. Give the gift that everyone wants this holiday season by visiting any Max Tan location in Lincoln or at maxtan.net.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
At Anderson Ford, we have commission-free guides who are paid to give you a great experience, not make a sale, so you can choose the best vehicle for you. During the Get Holiday Ready sales event, lease a 2024 Ford F-150 for only $379 per month. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1003769, $375 per month. Lease for 36 months with a free credit, 7,500 miles per year, $47.50 to assign, no security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 1-2-25. See delivery details.
Husker Nation, Nebraska is heading to the Pinstripe Bowl, and J-Tech Construction and Solar is here to help you score big on your home this season. Buy any 2 trades, windows, siding, roofing, solar, gutters, or doors, and save up to 20% off. Don't wait until the final whistle. Act now. J-Tech delivers expert craftsmanship and unbeatable savings for your home. Whether it's a new roof, energy-efficient windows, or solar panels that power your home like a champion, they've got you covered. Call 402-261-3682 to schedule your free estimate today. J-Tech Construction and Solar, proud sponsors of Husker football.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
It's that special time of year again, with bowl games galore, ugly Christmas sweater parties, and way too much eggnog. And like clockwork, you still haven't bought any gifts yet. Great news! Your procrastination headquarters this year is at Tailored Life in Bennett. Avoid the long lines in Lincoln stores and head down Highway 2 to Bennett, just a 20-minute drive, and their staff will help you pick out the perfect gift for your mom, wife, or significant other. Procrastination has an answer this year at Tailored Life in Bennett. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. You're listening to The Locker Room with Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Danielle. Brought to you by F Foundation Repair on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yes, we are back here in the locker room on 93.7 The Ticket. Once again, Chancellor Brewington out for Christmas break. He'll be calling in on Friday, so we'll get to hear from Chancellor before Nebraska's bowl game. Of course, the Pinstripe Bowl, Bad Boys Mowers Pinstripe Bowl in New York. And it's kind of interesting. Over the weekend, Nebraska was able to add a few players from the transfer portal, including Deshaun McCullough, versatile safety, played cheetah at Oklahoma, so could play nickel, linebacker, or safety at Nebraska. 1 year left. And they also add Georgia transfer Justin Rhett, who didn't play too much for the Bulldogs, but he's a defensive back, as well as Purdue transfer quarterback Marcos Davia, who committed to Nebraska over the weekend as well. Of course, this coming off adding Gabe Moore, the Mississippi State transfer, Neziah Hunter, the Cal wide receiver. So Nebraska kind of getting some work done in the transfer portal. Rico, of course, a couple weeks ago, we were all just feeling like the world was falling apart as Nebraska was losing guys left and right of the transfer portal. Does their recent haul make you feel better about Nebraska moving forward?
Yes? Question mark. I'm not 100% sure. It's guys who haven't played too terribly much. I mean, Deshaun McCullough does have 3 years of college football under his belt. Started at Indiana and was at Oklahoma these last 2 years. But it's guys where I don't want to get too excited because Nebraska and really every other place has done this year after year, where you bring in guys who you think are going to play a major part and going to fill some hole, and then either they end up not providing that relief that you want, or somebody that's currently on the roster takes multiple steps forward and then is starting over that person. So I'm not going to sit here and say that these guys are world beaters and that they're going to immediately step in and change the face of Nebraska football. But I do, keeping with Deshaun McCullough is kind of playing that rover role or that jack position. There's potential there depending on where he's going to be. Is he going to be a linebacker, a safety? It's one of those things where you got to figure out where he's going to be. Maybe he could be in that Gifford spot, kind of an in-between kind of guy where he's at safety one play, he's at linebacker another play, and he's doing all kinds of things, that do-it-all guy for you. But I don't know. I mean, we knew more about the guys that were leaving, obviously, because they'd been here for a while, and the guys coming in who are going to be joining Nebraska for their first time. So, I mean, I'm excited for the future. It'd be really cool if these guys could come in and play in the bowl game. That'd be really cool, because then you just automatically get to see, like, all right, yeah, this guy's going to be pretty good. We get to see him against, obviously, that's not going to happen, but that would be pretty cool to kind of get a glimpse as to what these guys may be like coming up for the season. But it's all hearsay and speculation until game one starts in 2025. So, I mean, I feel all right about what Nebraska is doing. It's really good to get another quarterback to have in between your true sophomore and your soon to be true freshman and TJ Lateef. and Dylan Raiola and TJ Lateef. So you're going to get that transfer quarterback in from Purdue. This is weird to say. You hope he doesn't play, or that he plays very sparingly next season. But it's good to have a guy who's been in college football for a little bit to be that in between guy, bridge guy between a true sophomore and a true freshman this upcoming season.
The other question that's kind of going around is with this bowl game is this a good representation to you of the Nebraska football team as it currently stands? It's kind of interesting because it's like a skeleton version of the team. Even though you just lose, 10 or 15 players, they could be big players to your team, and several of them are, whether it be the transfer portal, the injury route with Micah Mazuka having to sit out, Isaiah Nair sitting out due to preparing for the NFL.
Tommy Hill's still out.
Yeah, Tommy Hill's still out. I mean, I just find it's in this weird position where, and it's been a long time since Nebraska's been to a bowl game, so maybe this is just us kind of catching up to what's kind of been like.
Is this what it's like?
It's weird because I feel like the story of the season has already been written. There's an extra game that's kind of hanging out there, and definitely Nebraska wants to win, and you can finish with a winning record.
Finishing 7-6 is a whole lot better than 6-7.
It is, but is it a fair representation to say that this game is that, or when you look back on the season, are you mostly just going to be looking at the regular season?
I don't think that this game is going to be any type of representation of this season. I think this game is just going to be an extension of next season, depending on if how many people you do end up losing in the offseason, because you still got to cut down to that 105 before the season starts, or 105, right? Yeah, 105 before the season starts. So there are some guys that may play in this bowl game that won't be on the team next year, but I don't see this as, when I look back on the season, I'm going to say they made a bowl game, but I'm not going to look at the bowl game and say that it was part of the season. It was at the 12 games before this. That's the representation of the season. This to me is just an extension of what next season may be like. Again, with the younger guys playing, and you're going to have some guys who didn't get to see the field during the season potentially see the field in this one. So when I watch this team play Boston College in Yankee Stadium, I'm just going to be taking notes for what is going to be upcoming in 2025. I'm not going to sit here. I mean, you're going to have people who are going to sit here, and somebody's going to make some freshman's going to make a big play, or some guy who's been third string or second string, hasn't played much, is going to make a big play. And you're like, well, why hasn't he been playing all year long? It's like, well, the guy in front of him was probably better, or was better. At least the coaching staff thought he was better, which is why. But now this guy's getting into his first game action in quite some time, and he's just showing out. He's just ready. They've practiced a lot more. He's gotten more, one-on-one time with the coach, because there's nobody in front of him who's starting. He's been practicing with the ones, and now he's ready to go. So I don't want, it's going to happen regardless, but I don't want myself to sit there and say, well, this guy should have been playing this entire season. Look at, this pick six that he had.
Well, it's just so interesting because, we do look forward to some of these players that maybe are going to get more of an opportunity than they've previously gotten. But it's just hard to frame how this is going to be looked at without seeing it. And people want to say, well, whether you win or lose, I want to look at it the same way going in, so you don't have the excuse. And that's fair. But the game's quite a bit different, even if you win, one way or the other. If Dylan leads you to this victory and the offense goes off and Ja'Cory Barney has 2 touchdowns and then that's a giant springboard in the next season. But if Ty Robinson and Nash Hutmacher and John Bullock and,
if your seniors are the ones that carry you to a victory, it's like, okay, they're not here next year.
Right. And then it can't be as much of preview for next year. Then it's more okay that those guys capping off their careers. So we're just going to have to it's just in between seasons.
The offense,
and that's where it is.
Yeah, you look at the offense as a preview to next season. The defense, that's going to be harder because it's kind of a senior-led defense. So you look at this defense, and then you got to think, okay, well, he won't be here next year, and he won't be here next year. And it's not because they're transferring. It's because they're graduating or they're going to the NFL, and they're just not going to, they ran out of eligibility. So that's going to be a tougher one to look at and think, what I was saying, think towards next year on the defensive side. But on the offensive side, that's all I'm going to look at this and just think, okay, next year's going to be fun when you get a full off season of training with Dana and your new receivers coach and all of that, and getting into this next year.
Yeah, it is certainly is one way or the other, a little bit of both, right? It's the end of this season. There's players in here that won't be here next year. And it's the beginning of next season, especially with your coordinators kind of getting filled in there and ready to roll, and getting a jump start on going into next season. So weird to place it, but we're just happy it's here because it's finally game week. Nebraska hasn't had a bowl game in a long time. And so just enjoy it, even though it might not be the bowl games of yesteryear. That'll wrap it up for the locker room. Coming up next is On the Block here on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Koppel, during the holidays, we take time to cherish our terrific staff, community, and loyal customers that continue to drive that money-saving mile to Louisville, Nebraska. Hi, this is Sean Callahan. I can proudly say I bought my car at Koppel. If you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day with light winds and a high around 50. Tonight, mainly clear skies with patchy fog developing late. See a low near 27. Tomorrow morning, fog expected to give way to mainly sunny skies for the afternoon. We'll see a high near 44. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
League One Volleyball is coming to Omaha this January. Featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes, Love Omaha Volleyball is Omaha's newest pro team. The inaugural season will showcase some of the world's best volleyball players, from medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 24th at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Visit lovb.com for more information and to purchase tickets. Volleyball is the next major league.
Husker Nation, Nebraska is heading to the Pinstripe Bowl, and J-Tech Construction and Solar is here to help you score big on your home this season.